Canada's free press in crisis. Global ranking plummets as Carney faces growing political pressure. Canada is currently facing a profound crisis in press freedom, highlighted by a significant decline in its position on the World Press Freedom Index. The nation has dropped to 21st place, a decline of 7 spots from the previous year and a staggering 13 spots since 2015. This alarming trend raises urgent concerns about the health of democracy in Canada, especially as it coincides with increased government oversight of media operations. The Liberal government's controversial Bills C-11 and C-18 have granted the Canadian Radio, Television and Telecommunications Commission, CRTC, expanded powers to regulate online content and compel tech companies to financially support government-sanctioned media outlets. Critics warn that these legislative measures threaten press independence and set a dangerous precedent for censorship in a country that has long been regarded as a bastion of democratic values. In this context, Prime Minister Mark Carney faces intensifying scrutiny regarding his immigration policies as the federal election unfolds. Recently, Amnesty International advocated for Canada to welcome nearly 11 million undocumented immigrants from the U.S., including 750,000 from bordering states. This proposal, framed as a compassionate response to global displacement, prompts critical discussions about the financial ramifications for Canadian taxpayers. The estimated federal expenditure on each undocumented immigrant averages $14,321, leading to substantial overall costs, given the proposed numbers. In 2023 alone, providing room and board for undocumented individuals could reach an eye-watering $769 million. Many Canadians are left questioning how the government intends to reconcile these expenses with existing commitments, particularly as they feel the strain of rising taxes. The Migrant Rights Network suggests that Canada may already host between 20,000 and 500,000 undocumented individuals. The absence of reliable statistics complicates the dialogue and fuels public skepticism regarding the government's capacity to manage immigration effectively. Critics argue that while many Canadians diligently pay taxes, a portion of the population seems to benefit from government assistance without contributing to the system. This situation raises fundamental issues about fairness and the principles of social justice that are foundational to Canadian society. As the election heats up, mainstream media coverage has drawn criticism for perceived bias, especially in its portrayal of Carney and his conservative rival, Pierre Poilievre. Carney, in the spotlight for his leadership of the Liberal Party, has received extensive praise from various media outlets. His recent diplomatic engagements have been celebrated as successes, with commentators lauding his body language and the respectful tone of his interactions. However, this favorable coverage often overlooks critical issues, such as Carney's financial dealings and his controversial positions on climate change and censorship. Critics contend that the media's selective reporting reflects a troubling allegiance to Carney, while Poilievre's policies and positions are scrutinized more harshly. Poilievre has positioned himself as a defender of free speech and a vocal opponent of government overreach. He emphasizes the necessity for a more transparent and accountable government, particularly in light of recent declines in press freedom and the proposed immigration policies. His stance resonates with many Canadians who are increasingly concerned about the implications of heightened government control over media and the potential erosion of civil liberties. The intersection of declining press freedom and contentious immigration policies represents a complex challenge for Canada. As the election progresses, public responses to these intertwined issues will likely shape the political landscape for years to come. With Carney's government under scrutiny for its handling of immigration and media freedom, the election's outcome could have enduring implications for Canadian democracy. The drop in press freedom rankings serves as a warning signal regarding civil liberties in Canada. While countries like Norway and Finland continue to rank at the top of the index, Canada now finds itself trailing behind nations such as the United Kingdom, which has laws that can imprison individuals for speech deemed offensive. This situation raises alarms not only about journalists' freedoms, but also about broader implications for all Canadians who value free expression. The role of the media in shaping public perception during this election cycle cannot be overstated. With stakes higher than ever, the manner in which issues are reported can significantly influence voter sentiment. The uncritical support for Carney by some media outlets sharply contrasts with the more skeptical lens through which Poilievre's policies are often viewed. This discrepancy raises questions about journalistic integrity and the media's responsibility to provide balanced coverage. Moreover, the media's glowing portrayal of Carney's meetings, particularly regarding his climate policies and economic strategies, often glosses over essential criticisms. For instance, Carney's advocacy for government intervention in businesses that do not align with his climate agenda has sparked concerns about potential overreach and the risks it poses to economic freedom. His calls for action against social media platforms for spreading hate suggest a willingness to impose more stringent regulations, further threatening the fabric of free speech in Canada. As Canada navigates these pressing issues, the need for a robust and independent press has never been more critical. The current political climate demands transparency and accountability from all leaders, particularly as they tackle the multifaceted challenges posed by immigration and the safeguarding of civil liberties. With a federal election on the horizon, Canadians must engage with these issues thoughtfully and critically, demanding that their leaders prioritize the values of free expression and fair governance. In light of ongoing debates, it is essential for citizens to stay informed and vigilant. The implications of declining press freedom and contentious immigration policies have far-reaching consequences for Canadian society. The outcomes of the upcoming election will not only determine the direction of government policy, but will also set the tone for the future of democracy in Canada. Therefore, the electorate must hold their leaders accountable and ensure that the principles of justice, fairness, and freedom remain at the forefront of political discourse.